What's poppin', beautiful people? Happiest of Tuesdays. James is here, bright-eyed and with a smile. Welcome in.
Hey y'all, I'm in pain with this smile with my knee, but I'm gonna make it through.
He said he gonna make it through.
I'm gonna make it through,
Lord.
y'all.
Y'all, we are here to go over a new show that I have covered on this channel before, but James has not covered with me, and then I took a little pause. We're going to go over 90 Day The Single Life. This is another show spinoff to the 90 Day Fiance show. For those who are unsure, I am going to be trying to take on not everything from 90 Day Fiance, but I am going to commit to the single life. I will commit to before the 90 days. And because it only makes sense, I will commit to 90 Day Fiance, but it's already aired this year, so we probably won't get another season till like the end of this year or next year. But I'll commit to that if the single life gets better. But let's get into this episode, which was titled The Art of the Love Bomb. I don't know why they titled it The Art of the Love Bomb, but I was kind of annoyed and disappointed with, I think, every single cast member here. Now, James is new to 90 Day Fiance, just like he was new to Married at First Sight. He is trying shows for us, so we should appreciate it. So I am going to try and give background to people so that he can know the backstory and appropriately judge these people, because we're going to judge the hell out of them.
We sure are.
Lord, and also be sure to click the link in the description of this video, subscribe to James's channel, as well as Kiwan JTV, who we are doing regular recaps with weekly for Love During Lockup, and other great creators such as Shayna_MCD and Also Best. But y'all, I want to know what is wrong with all of these people. So we're going to start. I'm going to kind of go over this like I do 90 Day before the 90 days because it was easier with how they edit. We're going to start with Sophie. So we've seen Sophie before. She was married to Rob. I watched some of their season. They would get on my nerves. They were very toxic. I felt like their attraction to each other was physical, and they were trying to force a whole relationship just based, which is not enough if we're keeping it real. But we know that she is newly divorced. She was married for 3 years. She's only 26. She's very young. So she got with Rob when she was younger. She moved to America from the UK for him. And basically they divorced because he wanted to have a dating profile during the marriage, which she seems to feel like was problematic, which, you know, it is problematic to have a dating profile when you're married. I don't have one. My husband doesn't have one. I mean, you just shouldn't still be on dating websites if you're in a relationship. It's not even a marriage thing. But that's pretty much why her relationship ended. But she's admitting to being young, says that it seemed like she was insecure in her discernment of how she dates others and views men after dating Rob. That's what I picked up from her. I don't know if you picked up the same thing, but she seemed very like...
It was like basically he just had one solid thing, and that he was handsome. Like it was just kind of like there was no other instincts that she had to kick in. She didn't talk about his personality. She didn't talk about problem areas until like after the fact that she had got married to him. So it was kind of like, okay, so you didn't seek out for red flags. So what happened in the in-between times of, you know, dating till marriage? Like what happened? Was there like nothing? Was he just always perfect? He didn't get irritated. He didn't do anything.
She was too young. I mean, to move across the world at 20, girl.
That is brave. Like I will say that is very brave of her to do. But it's from what I'm understanding, watching this show and doing my research and stuff, because y'all know I'm researching on everything these days to see how I'm gonna get in my next relationship as I go through my healing journey. I don't know if I could do this one particularly, but I would just say a lot of them are younger coming in. I think this show is just picking the older factor people.
Yeah, Sophie's weird. I don't dislike her, but you know. Let's say hello to Kiwan JTV. Her name was just on the screen. She must have heard the bat signal and decided to arrive. You guys subscribe to her channel. This is another great content creator. And shout out to all the other content creators that I'm now following. I believe Kira Speaks, I'm following. There's another one, Ashley something. Thank you for the subscribe and follow them as well, y'all. I'm gonna start having a full description box. But the girl's discernment is off because Sophie announces that she's now talking to Pedro. So Pedro, for those who are familiar with 90 Day Fiance, we remember Pedro and Chantel from season 4 of the show. That's when 90 Day Fiance got good. Okay. That's when 90 Day Fiance got good. I remember watching Pedro and Chantel when I was on vacation in Vegas, hungover, and I couldn't get outside. And the TV was on, and that's what was playing in the hotel. And I ended up watching them people for hours and hours and hours on vacation because it was toxically just entertaining in every way.
Right.
Chantel's parents, Mama Karen was a lot, but I don't think Chantel's parents are problematic. Pedro and Chantel's relationship was a mess. It does kind of look like Pedro used Chantel to get to America and then BS his family about America and other stuff, but maybe he wants to move past things. I don't understand why anyone on 90 Day Fiance, I don't like that they're doing this. Like dating each other, the cast members and stuff. Like, it's weird. I get it. But I just feel like it's weird because on a show like this, you're dating each other's ex-wives and husbands, which is going to be far more serious than a relationship could ever want to be. So I'm just looking like, why would you go to somebody whose history you know is tumultuous? And I feel like Sophie was bullshitting when she said that she did not know the ins and outs of their relationship. Yes, you did.
That was going to be my question. Were they on the same season or they weren't?
No, they weren't. But
okay.
Since the season has aired, the 90 Day Fiance cast sees each other in the tell-alls, the spin-offs, the pillow talks, they see each other and interact with each other well and often to know of each other. So when she's saying that, and Pedro and Chantel kind of made the show super, super popular. So for them to sit here and act like they don't know when they're one of the only couples that's been on this show across the freaking, what is it, of 90 Day Fiance? I believe like season 9 just aired or something crazy. We're way into it. Like, it doesn't make sense for y'all to act like you don't know who they are. They had a spinoff, The Family Chantel.
Yeah, and then she can go back and watch the previous seasons of what he's been on to get an assessment of how he can do it. Like, I feel like because you have access to see, because I think she is bullshitting to some extent. I did agree with you there because it kind of didn't make sense to me that you wouldn't then go and research to see what he's like with his wife and see, what caused that to, rift. Was there any signs? How could he be, was he there for TV? There's lots of things that she could really do to, I think, strengthen some questions that she would have before actually engaging in conversation. I just feel like that's something she could have done. Or use it as a clip note to see how he will respond with you.
She's saying the whole episode, I want to take my time and make sure I'm with the right person. But then if you want to make sure you're with the right person and you have documented video evidence of how this person is, not just in a relationship, but in the beginning, dating, getting married, like she literally has examples of how he is on camera.
Yeah.
And I'm just, Pedro really isn't the worst in my opinion. He became the worst toward the end of, the marriage and stuff. But I'm not a person that dislikes Pedro. I don't like how he moved. I more so can't stand Lydia and Nicole, his nasty ass mama and sister. I'm disgusted with their existence. But Pedro himself, I'm just like, he's here. He's in America. He did try to work on the marriage with her. He did try to do a lot with the family and stuff. So I just think their families ruined their marriage, but we'll get to that later. But he's not like the worst guy, but I do think it would be wise for her to look into it. If I date somebody famous, I'm Googling every ex they've had, looking into videos, all of it. But she lets us know that Pedro cashed out on her the first time that they met and spent $3,000 on some sort of a chain or something for her. I said, oh, okay. But when you was with Pinky Winky, that's what he used to call Chantel. Chantel was begging for your ass to get a job for years. And while you was judging her for taking so long to finish nursing school, maybe she would have finished faster if she didn't have to support you and her.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. I'm just saying, let's not forget what our good friend has reminded us of, Laura, on Before the 90 Days. When they come over here, and Pedro was the one who came to the United States. The person got to sponsor you. So I think that's why he's not called Chantel anything crazy publicly, because I think to a certain extent you owe her your citizenship. He became a real estate agent, became successful, got his life together all on her back. So I'm glad he's not going to drown her. But moving forward, this girl Sophie is dingy. I thought she was dingy when I watched her season as well. She's one of those girls who's real pretty, but the inside of her brain is probably as small as the tip of my nail. Like, the girl is you know what I'm saying? She just don't give me highly intelligent at all. She just does not. And she proves it when she says that her and Pedro live in different spaces. He lives in Atlanta still. She lives in Texas. But she has been talking to him. And it seems like she's concerned about the distance. We do get to see Pedro. I call him my 33-year-old scammer who made it. He's delivered from scamming. But he is putting a big effort into wooing Sophie. And the reason we're going to talk about him now is because the difference was so odd. So Pedro's like preparing for an actual relationship, it seems. Sophie seems unsure about what she wants and is moving a little bit funny. But before we get into Sophie's funny movement, Pedro, you said that your relationship with Chantel ended because her family was crazy. How about the fact that your mom and sister were calling Chantel whores in Spanish, not knowing that she learned Spanish for you? How about the fact that your mom and sister cursed her out and tried to assault her with a glass, and the police were called in the Dominican Republic the last time Chantel tried to talk and make peace with them? How about the fact that your sister, Pedro, has also assaulted Chantel numerous times throughout the season? Let's not forget the fact that Chantel's family only switched on you because your mom was texting and calling you angry that you were in the US and not forcing Chantel to fund her and her daughter coming into the US. But now we know that's not how it worked, but apparently Lydia does not. So I just want to make it very clear again, Pedro, your family started the shit and has always been the problem and kept it going. Don't be mad because the black people from Atlanta, Georgia matched y'all's energy, because that's what happened.
Yep.
River, Chantel's brother, he's fine, by the way. But River, one of the few light-skinned boys I think is attractive, he must have climbed up, jumped on Pedro, and was trying to fight. Chantel's mama, Mama Karen, she's a hoot. I would love to see her, Mama D, Mama Jones, Tokyo, to all of them. I would love to see. But Chantel's family, they didn't have to, shoot back. But if somebody come at you, what you finna do? It's problematic. And
just be
Karen,
glad it was Atlanta and not Oakland.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. Just be glad it was Atlanta and not Oakland.
Okay, if they would have tried the same stuff Pedro's family, with a Texas family, a Louisiana family, a California family, a Detroit family, or somebody in Chicago, baby, it wouldn't have been enough ICE agents to peel the family members up off of them people. It wouldn't have been enough. So Pedro don't understand. Like, I think he did learn some things because he did speak. He was like, I learned a lot from my marriage that I want to reciprocate and practice in his next relationship. He said he wants to listen more. He wants to be more patient. He seems to understand to keep his family away for some time. And it just seems like he did get something out of his marriage. So I will give that. That's why I'm like not the biggest Pedro hater. But Sophie acted like her and Pedro did not know each other when he came. He decorated this van for her with his friends. I said, that's such a Dominican thing to do. He took the coconuts off the tree, rose petals, and put them in the car for her and her friends so that they could ride around the Dominican Republic comfortable, but also so that Sophie could feel special. And Sophie, this ungrateful bitch, there's always an ungrateful bitch on 90 Day. At least Natalie's not here this season, but she gonna say, him decorating the car was too much. What about my friends? Bitch, what about them? One of them is married, so she got to behave anyway. So this works out for
Right.
her. Okay. And then the other friend, okay, Liz is just there to get anybody who looks better than Ed. Okay. That's all. Liz is just looking for a man with a neck. That's all. That's all. So I'm looking at, I'm like, your friends are not tripping. They thought it was sweet, and she's tripping. And then when she meets up with Pedro, she gives him an awkward hug, and she gets upset and feels like he introduced her to his friends as like a girlfriend. Well, you the bitch he talking to. What did you want him to invite the other 4 girls that he may talk to sometimes and introduce them as well? Like, what do you want, Sophie? If you want to find love, these are the things most of us would love. That's why I stay married to my man. He does stuff like that for me. So I'm confused on what she wants. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe James can give me insight. Maybe being single is different now and there is a such thing as too much too soon. But I just viewed it as romance and chivalry. How did you feel about the interaction?
I get why you say that because it is. However, it seemed to me, and this is only to me, that they weren't on the same page as far as the context of their nature of the relationship. So if she's on one page and he's on another, I could see why she would be awkward because most people don't go with the flow. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, most people don't know how to just go with it and just be a united front, and then have the conversation later, which is what a lot of people are trained to do. Like me, I would have no problem going with the flow and playing it up. I've done it before. So I think that you kind of have to learn how to say, okay, well, let me go with the flow. Let me, if that's what you want to call me, that's what I'm going to be for the moment. Cause it's only one night. It's not like it's years and years and years or you have to see them every day. No, it's only one night. You could have played it up, but I think because
he didn't even call her his girlfriend. She just said he was given, this is my girlfriend vibes.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, that's what I said. She should have just went with it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to, because if you're confused about it, you can then talk to him later about it. But just play it up. Hell, I would have been like, yep, I'm the girlfriend. Yep, go get me a drink. Oh yep, let me put your hand on my thigh and everything. Like, I would have.
That Pedro is introducing her to too many people too soon. Like,
I agree with that too.
It's supposed to be fun, but if you bring 2 of your friends and I have 2 of my friends and we're all heterosexual and then the friends are of opposite sex and then I'm here with female, it does look like everybody's just hoping for one big, like, let's all go on a date. Maybe they'll end up together and this and that. Well, except for Julia, her ass married and pregnant and hiding. So that's a whole.
I just feel, and I don't understand because this is not the second reality show that I'm seeing when people are getting introduced to people are just sitting there smiling. Y'all, let me explain something to you. When someone brings you somebody to introducing you and you sitting down, you supposed to get your ass up and either shake their hand or give them some sort of greeting, not just sit there and smile awkwardly. And then when she removes herself awkwardly, because it is awkward, you gonna say she's like her vibe is off. Yeah, my vibe will be off too. If y'all just sitting there, I'm be like, hello. But me, I'm kind of one of them people. I could be intrusive. So you probably don't even have to get up. I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna give you a hug or I'm gonna give you something because that's just me personally. I don't really have that issue, but I can see why people are put off by that kind of energy. Me, I don't care. I'm gonna invade your space until you tell me I'm a bubble person.
That's honestly, that's what Liz did. That's what Julia did. Because Pedro and his friends were like, hey, can Sophie have this energy? Because when stuff is awkward, that'd be me. That'd be the one time I will speak out. I'm usually quiet in public, but if it get awkward, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. How about the weather? Like, we gonna discuss something.
And don't be fine, because then I'm gonna sit in between whoever, if there's 2 men, I'm gonna sit in between you. Like Aunt Bam do on Medea. Just sit right between you.
Smiling.
Right.
Oh, Lord help us. Oh, but Pedro and I keep wanting to say Liz. I'm gonna come back to you, Liz. But Pedro and Sophie, they go to the side and chat, and I'm thinking they're going to discuss the awkwardness and maybe talk about like what state they're in. How was your flight? How has it been? And instead, she was like, yeah, I had a pina colada for breakfast. And then they end up discussing her ex-husband. I was like,
Out of all things that had to come up, why did that have to
So
come up?
Pedro made some good points. He was like, okay, if the ex-husband is as bad as she's describing, then why is she answering his calls? And she then tells Pedro that she hooked up with Rob not too long ago. And I'm like, is this why you're so awkward? You're not done with Rob. You are not done with Rob. If you are still
No.
sleeping with him while you've been talking to somebody else, that means that you still have feelings for him. At least your coochie do. Because most women, if they end up heartbroken and upset and feel betrayed by a cheating man, that's where my shit would dry up. But hers did the opposite effect. So I don't know what she's doing. I don't really take her seriously. And if she makes me defend Pedro, I'm gonna be pissed off.
It's giving Juan Dixon. You're indebted to a person, so you kind of feel like there's an obligation to always be at their beck and call. That's what she gives to me. Like, and I could be wrong. I don't know her, so I'm just going to.
Because that's the only thing that could make sense. Either you're still in love, or you feel like you owe him because of the life you have today.
Yeah.
I mean,
because a lot of people do it though. It's a very common thing. A lot of people feel indebted to other people because of what they were able to provide, because you probably would be able to get it without them. And that's the thing about, you have to understand, like, sometimes people are there for you to take. Like, sometimes it's not always a bad thing. Like, especially if it's trying to advance you, sometimes that is the only opportunity they can afford you. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong for taking it and not really associating with them anymore. That's what they were there to do for you. Sometimes you have to look at divine intervention as you're taking away something that benefits you, because that person was there only purposely to give that to you. So that's all that I can say. Like, a lot of people just feel like they have to attach themselves. It's like, no, you don't have to attach yourself. If that person can willingly give you something and you can accept it, that's probably all they were there for to do. Because you don't know what your next steps are.
She needs to just live her life and figure it out. I think in general, this is why it is, to a certain extent, a good thing. Not to go into as much detail as Sophie went about an ex, but I do think it's important to at least mention an ex when you're talking to someone new, because that'll tell you, one, how long it ended, how long they was together, what a person's willing to put up with. You can find out their boundaries. Like, you can find out a lot. You don't got to go and talk about every little thing, but just discussing it a little bit could be helpful. Y'all, we got to talk about Liz. I'm a person that's always been 50-50 and kind of like up and down with Liz. There's moments I like her, and then other moments I'm like, what the fuck? I'm very familiar with Liz and Big Ed. Big Ed is not well liked at all. He's nasty to look at. I've always questioned Liz for wanting him. But I feel like because he took up about that restaurant, she cool. But Liz is here. She's single. She says she still likes older men. And she says that she has never dated. She's always in a relationship. That is a thing. I want people to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
It can literally be a thing, going from relationship to relationship. It's okay to date. It's okay to date more than one person. Until you guys have had the conversation that you are exclusive, no one owes anyone shit. It should be that simple, but I know you humans like to make it more complicated.
Especially me.
Not just you. I'm sure there's millions of people.
No, I honestly, I understand her. I do, because I'm that exact same way. I cannot date multiple people at one time. I have a severe, like, being attached to people, that my mentals, for some reason,
have to date multiple people at the same time. I think a lot of people tell people who end up in relationships that, but I think the trick is just be open to go on dates with the people who approach you, or that you may want to approach if you're willing to shoot your shot. You don't got to date.
My therapist said to try to date men that are not your type.
Yes.
And I said, that is hard for me to do, because then I'm not going to have any attraction, and it's not going to go beyond the friend zone.
You try it.
I tried it. Trust me, it didn't work.
Try again. She's
It
probably trying to
doesn't
tell
work.
you when people approach you or show interest in dating, don't just go down this checklist of looking for all the things. And if you can find things that align with what you want, just be willing to try the date and see from there. That's probably what she would mean. Because
That
to
is what she did, but I'm just saying
intentionally
I'm not.
date
I
someone that's
just
not your type would be difficult, but to be willing to do it with someone who could woo you, that could be. Maybe we'll talk about that on Watch Your Best Friends, y'all. Speaking of which,
yes.
subscribe to our new channel, the Watch Your B3ST Friends channel. The link is in the description of this video. But Liz is honest. I like Liz because of how she comes off. You could tell she gets along with people. She doesn't seem to judge. I think Liz just really wants to find love, honestly. I hope she finds it. But she says that she's pretty content single right now, which I think is a good thing and a good step for her. And she seems excited to go out and have fun with Pedro and his friends. And then TLC gave us, and we went over the saga / horror story that is Ed and Liz. Liz, I'm glad you took the time to be single because proposing to a no-necked man is crazy. I don't have any other lighter way to say it. Proposing to a man without a neck is crazy. And then on top of that, he had a ponytail. I know he stank. I could look at him through the TV. I always thought Big Ed stunk. I did. So I don't understand, Liz, why you would fix yourself to propose to a man. This is to Liz, to Chrissy, to all you dumb bitches out there proposing to men. Unless you dating a woman and you a woman, or unless you a woman and you're dating someone who is transgender, don't get on your motherfucking knee and spend 3 months' salary on a ring. No.
That looked like a school.
I'd rather it be, babe, we got a kid and we've been together for 7 years. We may as well tie the knot. I'd rather it be something like that, a conversation. But to get on your knee to Ed, I want to forgive Liz for it. But when they went through, because I watched 90 Day and Liz and Ed were like I lived for their storylines, James. But I'm not over her getting on her knee. And you seen what he looked like, did you not, James?
I saw, but I have questions. Now, my questions are: does he have a condition? Before I laugh, does he have a
He
condition?
does have some health issues.
Okay.
If he lost some weight, it would definitely help his health.
Okay, because it looked like he had a condition to why he didn't have a neck, and I didn't want to laugh at his expense like that. I wanted to make sure.
And you don't have a neck. You got to do, but I can't with Ed. I can't with Ed.
And
he's yucky too. I've seen some questionable things about him.
Okay, I was gonna say, now is he because the way she was putting it, it just seemed like he was just angry at life and took it out on her. Is that what I was picking up? Okay. So okay. So I'm pretty good at my assessment.
He's probably the love bomb that they're talking about because
okay.
He proposed to him, they were going to get married, they were trying to work stuff out. And then he left her a month before the wedding was supposed to happen. All that planning, all that stuff. So I felt like he didn't have to do her like that. But she has been delivered from Ed, thank God. We learned some updates. After she was with Ed, she got with another man. The man that she was with, she did end up pregnant with him. That was an entertaining tell-all too, when he looked at Ed and was like, I'm here. I was like, oh, okay. He's not here no more. But in that moment, I was like, okay, all right. But she ended up getting pregnant by this man that she's not with anymore. Unfortunately, she found out when she had her miscarriage that part of why she had a miscarriage is because they found a mass on her ovaries that was found to be cancerous. So she had stage 1 ovarian cancer. When I say that is like, I've been through a miscarriage, it's the saddest thing ever. You really don't get over it. But to go through a miscarriage and then also be told I got cancer, whew, that's a lot. Now, luckily for Liz, she does have a child. She has a 12-year-old. However, that's still just so heavy and a lot to process. And to anyone with cancer, anyone who's lost people from cancer, I always empathize with people, because when you see what people go through when they're fighting it, and I work in healthcare, so I do see that quite a bit. They are some of the strongest people that are on the planet because they go through hell. But yeah, Liz is okay now, and it seems like she's just looking to have a good time and do things the right way. She's a May Gemini, and she's interested in a Libra. For those who do not know, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, all similar signs. Just think of a Libra as a calm Gemini and an Aquarius of all the bad parts of a Gemini. And there you go. But I think they are a match. Libras and Geminis are compatible. So I don't want her to talk to Pedro's friends, though. I just don't. Like, Liz, please come back to America or go somewhere else. Like when Chantel did the single life, she went to Greece. Like,
what is a good country to pick up somebody if you really want to do the international thing? Like, what is a great country for her?
I feel like Australia, they take love and relationships really serious down there.
Okay.
Value it. I feel like that might be a good space. Australia, New Zealand. I would give a hell no to the UK. It's basically here. I would also give a strong hell no to Canada. Same thing. I would give a hell no, no shade to pretty much all of South America. I would give a hell no to all of West Africa.
That's a lot of
all of it.
That's a lot of places, continents and countries that we are just saying absolutely.
We just show y'all, just be patient. There's fuck niggas and stupid hoes everywhere. I mean,
it is.
If you in Canada or Nigeria, if you in Uganda, or if you in fucking Sweden, there's a fuck nigga and a stupid bitch somewhere ready to stress you out in love. So take your time. That's the best advice I could give. Tell me if it's off. I mean, I'm just saying it's a little blunt, but
no, I know, because we may be helping somebody. Somebody may be watching us right now, and we're like, okay, like we see that this is not always a successful thing. And they may have a question like, well, if I wanted to do this, where the hell am I going? And me, I questioned that as well. I remember you had a conversation not long ago. It was like, maybe I should try.
I think people should date whoever, wherever, but there's those certain areas like you really got to be weary of when you.
Yeah, because I'm like, because the U.S. people get on my nerves, and I'm just like, see,
But we have to remember, as quiet as it's kept, and as much as MAGA hates to admit it, the U.S. is a country made up of people from other countries. So it would make sense that these people, if 90 Day Fiance proves nothing else, you could try and find love across the world. You still gonna get the same problems.
True.
Except then you may be financially responsible. No time for it. Ain't no way you gonna tell me the only way I can be with you is if we get married in 90 days and I gotta be financially responsible for you for 10 years. No. But then again, most people would date first and do the visiting and then apply for the K-1 visa. These people be tripping. But Julia, there's not much to say about Julia. She's here. She's from Russia. Her relationship, she went to counseling at the same time that Sophie and Rob did, but Julia was able to salvage her relationship. She's married. She's pregnant. She's not telling anyone. She's drinking mocktails and living her best life before that baby comes. That's right, Julia. If Mr. Best knocks me up, I'll never forgive you, by the way, sir. But if he knocks me up at any point, y'all, I'm going to be on every plane ride from here to Africa until I start the show. And then when I start the show, I'm going to be on every plane ride from here to North and South America. And then when I get the waddle, that's when I might sit my ass down and just start driving a Tahoe or something. But get it out.
Driving a Tahoe or something. You a bad.
Because when the little babies come, I'm the oldest of four. I raised my siblings. My parents was highly irresponsible for heavy amounts of time. And I remember them waking up at all sorts of hours. All sorts of hours. So no, absolutely not. No, thank you. We're going to move into Kim. Kim is 56. She lives as James is already.
No, because she pissed me off. I'm sorry. No,
I was starting to
absolutely not.
love Kim, and then we got to the end of the episode, and I was like, "Excuse me."
No, it was the beginning too.
Let me tell y'all, Kim is 56. Kim is someone, so I did not keep up with every single season of 90 Day Fiance. I know Kim's son. I don't really know Kim. I remember Kim's season because I watched it because Usman was, I was like, lady, really? You are being, like, this is clear that you being played. And then I remember having faith and hope that she would be smart enough to leave his ass when she threw the drink in his face. I shouldn't have been hopeful. Now, Kim has lost 57 pounds and she looks good. Go, Kim. Hello, weight loss. She is laser tagging in the woods with some man. And she says she wants to tap back into being her young self as she's losing weight. She's telling us about how she was in the army. She used to jump out of planes, shoot things. She was a sharpshooter. I said, that's kind of cool. And she's with this guy named Javier. Now, before we get to Javier, I just want to know, what kind of fucking date was this? This is a date that you do when you know your partner and you just looking for something to do on Saturday.
Right. This is like a couples thing. Like when you get all your friends together and you do like a guys versus girls, or odd year versus even your birthday, or like something like that. This ain't no first date, because how are we supposed to get to know each other if we too distracted and trying to win a game? Yeah, like how are we supposed to get to know each other?
Hot Mess Express. Now, I'm still mad at Kim for agreeing to let Usman have a second wife so that the second wife could give him a baby. That's insane. And then to act surprised that he would want a sister wife situation, also insane. I'm just like, Kim, you don't make good choices. But there is some tension between Kim and her son Jamal right now, which is unfortunate. But Jamal is also a crybaby bitch nigga. Sorry. I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't like Jamal. I don't like the way he moves. When he was on The Single Life, when I covered it on this channel, he literally annoyed every fiber of my being. I don't like him. I feel like he's a narcissist. I feel like he's manipulative. And I feel like he's someone that feels like he's the shit and like he can just judge and walk on other people when his shit probably stank worse than all of ours. Like, I just do. You could tell he's someone that finds his confidence and his value in his career and his looks. Because if you dig into him, he's not that interesting. I'm sorry. And now that I'm seeing his mama even more, I'm like, oh, okay, so she fucked you up. I get it. But Jamal and his mom are having issues. Things are tense with them. And pretty much we're going to learn more at the end of it. But the paintball date or whatever the fuck they were doing ended very strange because Javier and Kim are chatting and she's like, so where do you live? And he's like, Mission Hills, which is a metropolitan. It's outside of not San Jose, Lord. We have a Mission Hills out here too, but outside of San Diego, it's a nicer area. So she's hearing he lives in Mission Hills and she's going to say, oh, nice. But then he's like, oh, but I have a roommate. She gave a roommate. He's like, yeah, female roommate. It's like, oh, he's like, I have 2 female roommates. She's like, say what? And he's like, oh yeah, one of them's my ex. Like, that's my husband laughs.
It was like,
this is your first date. And you're like, I can't afford to live on my own. I live with 2 other women. And one of them I used to date and used to fuck. And he's 40-something years old. To me, if you over 40 with a roommate, I'm side-eyeing you. San Diego or not, I'm side-eyeing you. I'm 33. I live in California. I have my own place. So
yeah,
I don't understand what that was about. But Kim it got worse. She asked, well, why did you and your roommate break up? Oh, I cheated on her.
So not only is you living in a house with another woman and whoever the other roommate is. So my then question to him was, well, did you fuck the other roommate? And is that who you cheated with the lady you was living with? Because that was my question. Because I'm like, well, hell, if you could still live with her beyond the breakup, then it mind me to say, did you cheat on the girlfriend with the other roommate? That's only a fair question. I
I
wish she would have asked it.
I was literally thinking the exact same thing is the thing. Because why else would you feel the need to like give all that information unless if you decide to move forward with Kim, you think that information could come out. You know?
Yeah.
Just say.
I'm just saying because it didn't make sense to me. And then I would love to see the lady who would sit there and still live with a man that has cheated on you. Because
They're not done. There's no way.
there's no way. It is. That's how I feel too. I feel like either the lines were blurred on the relationship, or I need to see this lady. Maybe she belonged to maybe some kind of cult or something. Because there's no way. And I get California as high ass rent, y'all. I totally get it. I'm not trying to be, so disparaging of people who can be in situations because hell times are tough. I totally get it. But the thing about it is some people y'all gotta learn how to put y'all pride to the side sometimes and get your ass up and do some shit to get you up out of situations like that. I don't give a fuck if I got to move into a boarding home. I'm not finna be with nobody that has cheated on me. Potentially with the other lady who's living with us too, because I'm sorry. And that just sounds like that's what it was. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. When I tell you I would have been gone. I don't care if I got to get up on a pole and go upside down. I am getting up out that house. So yes, that's crazy as hell. I can't believe that.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, it just does not make any sense.
None whatsoever.
But there's more. Kim actually gave us a lot compared to everybody else. She says she's not calling Javier back. Good. Thank you. Please don't call him back. Kim seems to be wanting to make different choices in her relationships. What I got from Kim is Kim wants to be dating men her age now. So Usman was extremely young. For those who did not watch 90 Day, I believe he was like in his 20s. And I believe that was the guy who was that weak ass rapper, unless I'm getting it wrong. But I believe that was the guy. But Usman was over 20 years younger than Kim. So Kim's now like, they can't be 20 years younger than me. They can't. She's like, I don't really want to date nobody younger than like 44 or 45, which I think is good because 9 times out of 10 if men haven't had kids by then, they're not. Or they already have them and they're not trying to restart. So I do feel like Kim is making some good choices. Some. I use a very loose sum.
Now,
go ahead.
I have a question. Now, did she say she wanted to go older?
She says she wants to date people closer to her age, not per se older.
Because that might be one of the problems too. It's like, I don't understand why she won't keep that window open for somebody who may be 60 as opposed to.
It would make sense for her to do that. So San Diego, for those who are not familiar with California, think of the Bay Area as like the perfect mesh, the welcoming Californians, where you'll probably get a little energy of actual California, honestly. Think of the Valley as the people who can't afford it. Think of Southern California, all the people who want dreams and all the people who move here ruining our state from other states. And then think of San Diego as everybody in California or other states who wants constant sunshine, military. San Diego is a military city. The whole San Diego metropolitan area is actually a military area.
Right.
So you mostly have in San Diego, because it's very expensive in San Diego, just like it is here in the Bay. You mostly have, what do they call them in Florida? Snowbirds, the old
snowbirds, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of elderly, retired, military, vet workers, and all of that. So I'm wondering,
and like people who play golf and like everything, so it's like
people, I feel like if we hear old and white, I'm just gonna assume you like golf.
No, because that was the thing in Florida. So yeah, no, absolutely. And it was the same thing. I guess more so in Palm Springs, if anything, but like it's definitely, well, I think Palm Springs is the gay olders, and then San Diego is the straight ones. That's kind of how I look at that.
Palm Springs is turned into, unless you're at a resort and you're rich, or a family at one of the family resorts, you're a
Right.
gay or a friend to a gay, and you're there to have
Hmm.
fun. That's kind of where they
Yes.
go. So San Diego, military, kind of conservative. Like that's just how it is down there. Beautiful city, but she has options. She's just dating the opposite of the options that she has, and
No,
it
I
looks
think the
like
option she won't. She
we're gonna get
black.
to that because
Hmm.
obviously her son is black. The dude she's sleeping with black. Her ex black. So I'm like, obviously she likes black men, but the black population in San Diego, I'm like, go to National
Right.
City. Like,
And I feel like she noticed, but
but yeah, I wouldn't want to go either. Shit.
yeah, I was trying not to say it. I was trying not to, because if y'all don't know,
She
Google.
gonna have
Trust me.
her only options though when you live in San Diego. If you do like the black communities there, it's just very small. You got to really know them. It's finite, and a lot of them have been priced out, similar to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So she needs to definitely, I think National City or San Bernardino is the next closest like metro area. But the problem is these are places like the quality of black men that she'll find will not be the best.
Well, clearly she has a type, and they tend to have the same personality traits. Go ahead and get into the episode, because I can't wait
Lord
to
help
comment.
us. So before we get there, she does talk with her colleague. She's a manager at a health spa or a med spa inside of one of the resorts in San Diego. So that tells me she's smart and gets things done. She's very proud to be in
Hmm.
the military because she somehow coupled this with that also. But she has a friend that she talks to. I loved her friend. I don't know why that the I didn't catch the girl's name. The black girl that she works with, her colleague. She seemed really sweet. I like how she supported her friend, but something Kim said that was sad to me as well as her friend in the scene is she was like she just feels like she's dated but she's never found real love and she hopes that she's able to find it before she dies. And I was like, my heart, don't say that, Kim, because I know a lot of people who feel that way, and I it makes you feel lucky when you found your actual love and then you
Yeah.
hear someone say something like that. It makes you appreciate it. And if you don't,
'Cause
if you watch that and you have somebody and you didn't appreciate them, that shit ain't gonna last. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, because to me, like that's even a fear of mine, and I'm way younger. So I just feel
Yeah.
like
But for
it
her
is
to
a
say
thought.
it out loud, I feel like a lot of people don't say that out loud. I
Well,
respected her for
because the thing about it is you have to understand it's almost like her being in Phoenix. That's kind of what that's like, where you kind of feel like there's no one realistically that you're trying that you feel is of your caliber or of your or that would have the personality traits or the genuality of like just being a human being. It's just always a motive or always they're trying to get something or always trying to figure you out. And it's like no one goes with like just enjoying a person anymore. It's so sad. It's just so sad. So I felt her on that one. I really did.
yeah, she that's the one thing with her that I will give her. But now we're gonna go downhill for Miss Kip the rest of the episode. So
Hmm.
she and her friend they leave their job, and her friend takes her to this friend pitch thing where basically it's a dating event where people get together in their community and people pitch their single friends so that they can find someone to date. And while I like that her friends were trying to look out for her, California is very shallow,
Hmm.
especially if you are in San Diego, Los Angeles, or the Bay Area. So if you do not look like you coming out of magazine or got money, sometimes people may not want to deal with you. If you are older, people may not want to deal with you unless you are older and thin, like these girls on our poster and our graphic. Like it's just the fact. This was not the space for Kim to find someone.
I
She said
agree.
everybody in there was extremely young. And then her friends got up there. She's like, she's a great heart. She loves cats. If you have a cat allergy, you can't do it. And they're older and they meant well. But I'm just like, why would you get up there and talk about this lady's cats, just making her look? It's already enough that you're pitching your friend for love. Now you're talking about she's the old single lady with cats. I just cannot. But I did love the attitude that Kim had through it because a lot of friends would throw a fit, get mad, but she played along for a little bit. But when that girl was like, "Would you date someone in New York? Because my dad is single." I was like, girl, you could have asked her that quietly.
Okay, you couldn't. Like, I was like, girl, look, she already embarrassed. Hell,
She said,
it
if
just
I
it
could
wasn't
go
enough.
to Nigeria, then I could go to New York.
It wasn't enough people in there either for this kind of event. This was like,
It's awkward.
y'all, it was awkward. Although the first guy was really cute, I was trying to find him on Instagram, but I was like, yeah, this ain't enough people.
It's not.
It's not.
But the event did go well. She didn't find love. She tells her friends that she got a booty call. She says she needs to get her sexual needs met with her friend B, which stands for Benjamin. Now she leaves. And I said to myself, oh, are they going to show her going to have a booty call? Like, what are we going to do? What's happening? And she goes to meet with Benjamin. And I said, I know you fucking lying. Benjamin looked like somebody on my caseload at work. What is going on, Kimberly?
First of all, you too damn old to be messing around with somebody who ain't even got his own shit. That's number one.
They call me B, you feel me? Because I be buzzing around.
It was like, and then too.
Sir, you are 50.
Right.
Buzz to employment.
Like, why don't you have your own house? Why y'all got to meet up at hotels?
Well, no, here's the thing. She said that the reason her and B meet at hotels and motels is because she never knows when Jamal could pop up at her house and he has roommates at 50.
My point exactly. We just got done talking about this. Why?
How you gonna say for the other guy the roommate was a problem, but for this one you'll deal with it? And I understand for this guy it's just a friends with benefits situation, but you say it's a friends with benefits situation, Kim, and then all in the next second you're trying to talk to him like, I know B feels that we good together, but it's like he doesn't. Girl, he don't want nothing from you but that punani.
I think I have a feeling she did that because the other guy wasn't black. I really do. I feel like she likes black men, and I would much rather her say that and I give that man a chance, because this could be the exact same situation as our other old boy. What is his roommates? And in today's time, look, I don't exclude men or women at this point. I really do not. I'm sorry. Unless they family.
I'm upset because there was the comment, this is a really nice one, B. Yeah, we don't usually get a motel this nice. Y'all, there was a Best Western, which is one of the nicest and cleanest in California budget hotels. Best Western in California, clean, top tier. I stay at the one in Disneyland often.
That's because that's a resort.
No, it's not the one. It's across the street.
I know. Okay, I was thinking the other one. Okay, I got you.
No. They have two that are right near there. There's one that's nice, but it is just a hotel, and then the other is their regular budget, because
okay. Yeah, that's what that's what I thought you were talking about. I was like, it's been a minute, y'all. I haven't been there since 1995, so I have to.
Don't comment then. He said since 95. You could have at least given us after 2000, Fred.
No, it's been a long time since I've been there. It's been a long.
Got a whole different bone structure today.
They probably do.
Because they like to knock shit down and rebuild it. If I see, like, for instance, if I see an old Taco Bell or McDonald's with the same logo I used to see in the 90s, I'm going to keep driving.
There is actually some that I could take you to here.
I don't want to go there.
They're remodeling them slowly but surely, but Phoenix is 30 years behind on everything, so
they will want to hurry up. It's too hot to be behind on anything. They better come on, especially with all the people moving there. I feel like they need to build it up.
But people are not moving in those areas. People are moving to the newer areas that they're building. Like, they just built a brand new town further west, and it looks like, it's funny because it looks like an old Hollywood town. It's so crazy. So I was like,
building
damn.
cities. That's crazy. But that
Yeah, they're
state
building
is
cities.
empty. So that's good. At least that means they're getting an economy hill. Um, these people get on my nerves. Let me see. So after her weird ass booty call with creepy ass Benjamin, don't do that no more, Kim.
Yeah, keep that to
Don't.
yourself.
He didn't
Keep
even
it to
care about what she was going through.
Okay.
Don't do that no more. So she leaves the hotel, and things get really cringy. Jamal comes and she talks to him, and so we learned some things. So the reason Jamal and Kim are not having a good relationship right now is because Jamal has an older brother that he did not know about. Kim was with Jamal's father for 7.5 years, and they had 3 children throughout those 7.5 years. The only child they decided to keep was Jamal, but it sounds like prior to Jamal, Kim had 2 pregnancies. The first one that we learn about is the brother. I believe his name is Larry. And what ended up happening is Kim got pregnant with Jamal's dad, who she was in a relationship with. They were both in the military. She got pregnant, carried her baby to term, and then she delivered and decided to give the baby up for adoption. I don't find anything wrong with that. If you don't believe in abortion and you do not want to have a child, that is what adoption is for. That's what it's for. So I don't fault her for that. But to get pregnant again when birth control was available is irresponsible. Don't just be having babies and giving them up for adoption when there's a way to prevent the pregnancy from occurring, is what I'm trying to say. So the problem is Jamal doesn't know about the second sibling that existed. So Kim and Jamal found out about Kim's son when the son did an ancestry test and saw that this was his mother and his brother. So Larry's just trying to get to know his family. I'm curious to know, was he in foster care? Was he adopted? Like, what happened with him? But he has his own family. Kim says he's a good guy. She found out she has a grandchild. Larry has a wife. And he seems to not be impacted, probably because he might have been adopted. If she gave
That's
him
what
up
I'm
for adoption.
thinking, because he didn't give me like foster care in the system deep like that. He just
No,
didn't give
he
it.
seems, from how she described him, he doesn't seem like he has the trauma that a foster child would carry.
Yeah, that's why it's like I
And it
felt like
sounds
that
like
too.
if he had adoptive parents, because me and James have an old friend. I don't really talk to her anymore. I know James and her, I don't know if they talk as much,
We
but
have not talked since we graduated.
oh damn. But she was
Yeah,
adopted.
right.
A friend of ours from high school. I mean, she let that shit fuck with her, but she knew of her parent. It was kind of a effed up situation. The parent didn't really want nothing to do with her when she went and seeked them. So I don't know, understand Jamal's anger is what I'm trying to say toward his mom. Because while your mom could have given up, she could have taken birth control. She could have given you up for adoption. She was 21 years old. She was young. She was traveling everywhere in the military. That's not a way to handle a child. I don't know what else to tell y'all. And then she didn't end up with her baby daddy in the end. So, I mean, I don't fault women or attack people for giving their kids up for adoption. If she was pregnant and drinking, pregnant and doing drugs, out here Krishan rocking her life away, then I would disrespect her. But she didn't want a baby. She couldn't raise a baby. She still did what she had to do to have a healthy pregnancy for that baby and might have given him a better life. Because Jamal seems like a stuck-up snob that needs to come out the closet, because I think that's really why he's angry in life. I said that when I covered the single life the last time. Check out the TLC recaps playlist. Jamal gives me gay and in the closet. I've always thought that when he was dating that other girl. I was like, oh, there's no way. He gives me gay or bisexual. He just does. So I feel like he might be internally struggling with that. But Jamal, raise up off your mama. To get so mad because you have a brother is crazy. I understand she didn't tell you, but if it's a closed adoption And the only way that she's even hearing and having to see your brother is because of a DNA test that no one would have imagined back then would exist today to be able to untell those secrets.
Right.
You cannot fault her for that. I don't like when fucking men either try to have an opinion about what a woman does with her body. If you don't have the reproductive system that we have, shut the fuck up. I also want to acknowledge, though, that it can be difficult to find something out. And I understand that, okay, well, your mom lied to you, Jamal, once. And because of this one lie, you're saying now you can't trust anyone in the world. So that tells us that you have trust issues that come from other stuff. You have issues and trauma you need to work through. And I feel like he's piling it on his mama because that's the safest person to do it to. But I get the anger. Go to fucking therapy. Don't try to hold this lady hostage and make her feel bad while you still coming in her house for groceries and food.
Yeah. I agree with you. Because to me, when I watched it, I felt like there was more to this story. There's more to this story because his anger didn't make sense. It was kind of like, okay, she did the right thing. She couldn't provide for this child. And there's nothing worse than seeing somebody neglectful or, not doing the right thing by a child just to say they don't want to give it to the system. That's why I feel like, to me, she did the right thing. There has to be more that neither one of them are saying, because it seemed premeditated. Oh, this is another reason why I can get angry. It's given Chantel and Jackie Christie. It really is. It's giving like Chantel, like, it's like, we don't know why you're so angry at your mother, and then you're not saying anything at the same time for us to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then when it comes to a point when you do say something, it's going to be like, well, I get why you mad, but at the same time, it's like what can you do about it now? Yeah.
But you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah. It's like, what can we do?
She told you about Larry. At least she told you. Do not beat her up for that, because I promise it's 10 times harder on her having to see a child that she gave up, wondering if she could have raised them and all of that. You have to still be empathetic, even if somebody like disappoints you, if you care about them, in my opinion. But right about the comparison. The only difference between Jamal and Chantel says she's always had trouble with her mom, which I don't believe because we saw her in early seasons.
Right.
Jamal and his mother have been close. It's been these two, and they were like that. So for this one thing to break it, James is right. There's something more that you're not telling us.
Yes.
There's something more. There has to be. But
there has to be, yeah. Because imagine, okay, because here's the thing, and as you say, you shouldn't pile, because that's a guilt that she'll never be able to ever forgive herself for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that guilt of, doing that. And it's not that she did the wrong thing. We're not saying she did the wrong thing, but there's a guilt in there internally because she was able to raise another child fully. So there is going to be a guilt that she has that she'll never really forgive herself for, because at the same time, this child ended up finding her and actually was curious enough to say, hey, because sometimes some people don't want to find their biological parents, but he wanted to know.
Yeah.
So that's a nightmare that comes back to haunt her. And you don't know what kind of trauma that is. So I think to pile down on her.
The brother, I get a feeling he probably wasn't even trying to find his biological parents because he's so content. I get the feeling he might have like my husband right now is interested in doing his ancestry test just to know like more. And he knows both of his parents. I feel like dude just wanted to find out because it looks like the little grandbaby is younger. And when you have kids, you start thinking, well, where do I come from? What's my background? I feel like it was something like that. And then he just came across that. But it'll be interesting to see how this storyline will fold out. But I can already tell y'all, go watch my 90 Day to Single Life reviews that I did previously. I don't like Jamal. It's going to be very hard for me, but I'm going to do my best. That's why James is here. We're going to move into Five Head Gino, Ashley Darby's next husband. In my head, if him and Ashley Darby, they wouldn't even have to kiss. They could just get closer.
He ain't got enough money for Ashley Darby. Like, he ain't got enough money and he's too cheap.
That's what she deserved. But Gino is 56. Gino is 56 years old. I do remember Gino. He was married to Jasmine. I did watch this season. Legendary season, in my opinion. Jasmine ain't shit. Jasmine was beating on Geo. She was beating his ass on camera to where TLC, and it takes a lot for TLC and WeTV and Zeus. It takes a lot for them to have their like production and people step in. She was beating his ass so bad on 90 Day Fiance. Production stepped in and was trying to get her to stop and almost got whacked. Okay, that lady was tearing his ass up. So they're not together no more. We all knew that this wouldn't last. If you watch the season, you know it wouldn't last. Gino is delusional in every way of the word as it relates to dating.
Yes.
And I mean, hell, look, live is over. Like, do we really even have to discuss more? He's delusional. So
very.
He goes to the singles event. And by the way, his ex-wife, the way that it ended, she got pregnant by a man in the neighborhood before they were divorced.
They're still married.
They're still married, but
they're still married.
Before there was a filing or any of that. Like, that's crazy to be pregnant by somebody else that's not your husband when you married. That's crazy. But they are done. They'll be divorced, it sounds like, soon. But he goes to a singles event. And I'm like, I haven't been single since 2009. So I'm looking and I'm kind of like, there are events and mixers. I need to, for some of my single friends, when I see my friends that are single, I'm going to be getting on planes because they all live away from me. And I'm going to go to these events with them because I'm the best wingman anyone could have. Okay? The best. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to do that.
We cannot do that. They have them here in Phoenix. We cannot do that.
No, I wouldn't do that there.
No, because when I tell you I went to one years ago, this was in 2027. Actually, the month I got the Camaro, I went to a singles event because, you know, I'm single, newly into sexuality, got a hot new car. I'm thinking I'm the shit. So I went to a singles event for the LGBT. And when I tell you, it was fun. I'm not going to lie. It was fun because we played dodgeball. I know they play kickball. We played dodgeball. Mm-hmm. And the one guy I was interested in ended up being straight and was there for his brother.
I think that's odd. LGBTQ. Like, my friends are inviting me to dating events that are in that community. I'm like, no. And sometimes they try to make it seem like something more. I'm like, y'all always talk about you have a harder time meeting people because most of the world is heterosexual. At least they present that way. So it's very hard to know. The last thing you need to do at an LGBT event is bring somebody straight.
Right. I was so disappointed. Girl, when I tell you, I was so disappointed. I was mad as hell. I remember I played my game of dodgeball. I did. And then I left. We all got ice cream after the fact. That's how I found out because I was literally trying to flirt with this man this entire time. I was like, oh, he is my type, everything. And what's crazy, his girlfriend ended up going to the ice cream place. She met us there. And she
didn't connect it when he didn't flirt back.
No, he was like laughing with me and everything, and kind of like we were throwing the dodgeball trying to get each other out. So I'm thinking we building this connection. He sits at the table with the ice cream place. His girlfriend comes and sits next to him. And I said, oh my God, hi, I'm James. She goes, hey, I forgot her name. But I remember, like, he said, so what you do today? And she told him, and I'm just like awkwardly sitting there, like invaded in this couple's conversation, not knowing they were a couple. And then they kissed, and I was like, so I have not been
who's a super
so I was like totally, I never went to one again after that experience. But I remember I was so embarrassed. I was like, it was funny as the guy ended up
not to be embarrassed over.
No, because I should have known, but I don't know how. I didn't know at that time. I didn't know how that shit worked. So I was like, I'm thinking everybody there is LGBT, associated. So I was like, okay, well then, hey, man, opportunity, place, here it is. Totally wasn't the forum, y'all.
Lord help us. Lord help us. That's the best. Don't bring nobody straight to no.
Yeah, please don't do that, y'all. Please don't bring nobody straight to no LGBT mixer. It does not.
It makes it easier to navigate because
I don't want to see that or download me. Don't y'all bring y'all asses up in there.
I'm going to say this. One thing I've learned from my friends, just because someone is gay or lesbian does not mean that they are able to recognize who is gay or lesbian. Sometimes I feel like the straight people better at spotting the shit than the community themselves. I really believe that. It just because you are something don't mean that you got a sudden laser view that's gonna let you see through someone's soul to know which way they go. It don't work that way. So please let they dating events be they dating events, because they could have been and had a date on their own. That's an odd thing to do as a couple. Anywho, the singles event for what is his name? Gino. It was not. This was the worst singles event on the episode. Like, it was terrible. So the ladies were okay and feeling him. And he says he prefers to meet women online because he's outside of his comfort zone in person. And I started to see, because he's awkward. You like to catfish women and make them think you something you're not. And then they meet you and you just awkward and bald-headed. And you got to stop doing that, Gio, and just be who you are. Not Gio, Lord. Gino, this going to happen. I knew this would happen. I was like, I knew this shit would happen. I knew it would happen. If you know, you know. That's what I'll say.
Yes, but, if you know, you know. That was a good one. I
didn't even mean to do it, but the names are so fucking similar.
Right.
But Gino, these two girls come up to him. He tells them he's still married. He's so nervous. The women are like, his voice is shaking. He's moving a lot. And I'm like, if you know he's nervous, one thing, the way I am with guys, if you know someone's nervous, you don't have to embarrass men further. If we want them to keep approaching us, ladies, let's make them comfortable enough to do it. I'm just saying.
Right.
Okay. They didn't have to laugh in his face.
Laughing in his face. Them two heifers was rude.
And they wasn't cute enough to be.
They wasn't cute at all. Them look like the PTA moms or the carpool mamas. Y'all better go somewhere, because to me, I feel like this. He was trying his best. And for y'all to whisper and talk about, oh, did you hear us? It was like, oh, wow.
That's why they had a singles event at their big age. At their big age. That's exactly why. But I was looking at Michigan like, okay, I see people of different age ranges in there, different types of people. They had a good selection of people. I don't know what
they did.
Was.
I was gonna say, like, and then the odds were in his favor because they had more women there than they did men. So it was kind of like you had, all of that together. So
Michigan.
No. Oh, you know what else was at this thing? So they had the deaf people there too with us. The LGBT deaf people. It was a part of their school program at the dodgeball game too. And my stupid ass didn't know the first guy I flirted with, other than the straight one. The other one I flirted with, I didn't realize he was deaf. We're just playing dodgeball, and I'm over here whispering in his ear, "Go for the phone to rig, and I'll get the other one." Fool couldn't hear me, so he hit the one. I was like, "No," and then I was, you tap people, flirt. So he put his arm around me and everything, and the guy whispered, he goes, "You do know he's deaf, right?" And I said, "Oh, I'm reading the gestures wrong. He's trying to, give me a sign, and I'm sitting up here being stupid, thinking, oh, he already affectionate."
We need to work on your discernment.
We really do.
Dating, because it seems like it's really good everywhere.
Everywhere else. That's because this shit.
Dating, that shit goes to sleep.
I don't have no experience with dating. I always get in relationships. As I said, me and my homegirl over there in the first beginning of this episode, we got the same shit in common. That's what I'm saying. Me and my homegirl in this episode, we got the same problem.
Every time somebody say me and my homegirl, I think of that video on the internet. And we can't go to Bella Noche. Where can we go? She said, me and my homegirl. I love that video, y'all. It lives rent free in my head. That and the guy singing the Golden Girls theme. Religion.
With the bar.
That wig off.
Yeah.
I love the Golden Girls too. But
his
singles event, pretty much he didn't get no work. It didn't go good. He done told these ladies all this crazy stuff about his wife having a baby, being pregnant by somebody else, cheating on somebody, cheating on him with a nigga down the street, down the road, and it was a mess. So we then move forward to see Gino go into the grocery store. When he's in the grocery store, he says, "Hey, where do you keep your burger meat?" Probably with all the other fucking refrigerated, meats and items. It's always right near the counter. But you could tell Gino is like lonely, which makes me feel for him. I'm like, where are your friends? Where are your
Girl,
friends, Gino? Because if he had friends, I feel like it would be a little better. Like some people are not meant to be introverted and are just that way because they're a little awkward. If Gino
yeah.
were to move somewhere like California, Florida, I feel like he could make some friends. I feel like where he's at, it's
Oh, he would
difficult.
do well in Phoenix. He would do
He needs to
extremely well.
move.
He would do extremely well here. I feel like even with the dating, he would do because there's ladies who love that goofy shit. So yes, absolutely, he will do wonderful here. I think he needs to move to Phoenix. I feel like it's
Say, come get
reasonably
you a stupid
priced.
bitch who's fried from the desert sun. What is it? The
She gonna
Sonora
love.
Desert?
Look, she gonna love you, but she gonna love you a long time. Like that saying. I'm telling you, these women don't go, especially if you got a good ass job. Them women ain't going nowhere. Them women ain't thinking about what you talking about. Them women will sit in the house with you, watch reruns and everything else.
Mm-hmm. They sure will make
They
you
sure
move.
will. Yeah.
Keep running. They sure
Make you,
will.
yeah, hell yeah, make you. I know, lady, she can make the hell out some meatloaf. I'm telling you, you just got to come out here and.
Knock the hell out some meatloaf. I cannot. But you know what? The clear people love the loaf.
They
He
do.
but he was cracking me up because he was in the grocery store talking to the person at the meat counter, and I'm looking like, you know, they don't want to talk to you,
Okay,
but
she like, I do not get paid enough to be sitting up here talking with you. If you
he's
don't
like,
need something from this
I'm
counter,
getting
get your ass out my
excited.
face.
You know, my ex-wife was a vegan, so I couldn't have meat in the house. Why?
I feel like that's crazy because I feel like I know plenty of vegans whose family is not vegan and they be cooking. My boss from Starbucks, she was a vegan, and
My entire childhood, I was vegan. My family is from New Orleans, Louisiana, and the other part of them are from Nairobi, Kenya, and Chicago. Okay, them niggas eat meat. Okay, but we didn't. It's fine. There's my sister. She is still vegan. Her man, they live together. He eats meat. My father is a vegan. His wife is not. So you don't need to live your life that way. That is called you're in a controlling, one sided relationship that you should have left a long time ago. It's amazing his head is so large because it's empty.
you said it better than I could have ever said it because when I tell you, I just felt like, okay, so I'm like, well, so what did happen in this relationship that because it's like,
The relationship, if you watch the season, like just to like give it to you quickly, it was a relationship kind of like Lisa and Daniel, one that you knew would not last. But
right,
for ever reason, it seemed like, and that's a kind of a theme in 90 Day, like he's so desperate for love that he's just gonna keep it going. But Gino, he then moves on to be even more awkward. He said that he uses his social media to curate the image of himself that he wants women to have. Let me tell every man and woman, if you are curating an image of yourself that you want to sell to your partner, that's why your asses are alone. You're not going to find love that's going to last until you are your authentic self.
right,
And if you are curating and working on an image of yourself to sell versus just being yourself, you're not going to attract anyone or you're not going to get anything serious. And that goes
exactly.
for if you gay, straight, whatever the hell. You're not going to. That's just a lesson in life. You make friends. All the friends I have that lasted, I was just myself around. They accept me for me, and vice versa. The friends that I have that were just a good time, that didn't work out, are people who only got certain versions of me that wasn't like the full authentic me. So I just feel as though him doing that is setting himself up for failure because you're trying to make it seem like you're always out and doing stuff and have friends, but the reality is you're alone and only doing this because you have nobody right now. So no one's going to know what you're really like. It doesn't make sense. But then he mentions Natalie. Natalie is a woman who he was sleeping with when he was with the first wife. The first wife and Natalie got into it on 90 Day. They almost fought. Now him and Natalie want to talk again. And he is going to be getting on a plane with his shampoo and conditioner, even though he has no hair, to go and see Natalie. Why are you talking about getting it up, sir? He's talking about how he couldn't get it up for his ex, but he can for Natalie. It sounds like ED. You're 56, bro. Call your urologist or your PCP, Gino. But that's all that happened with him. I wanted to get your opinion just on that last part of what happened with him before we go. I'm hungry.
Me too. I just feel like for me, it was really awkward watching him. It seems like, yeah, he is showing like a big desperation to just have somebody versus like, because to me, that would have been a red flag. And then another thing, Natalie, why the hell would you even want to talk to him again after going through that shit? Because at the minute I'm going to fight somebody's current partner, I'm getting the fuck on and I'm not talking to them again. So it just shows that either she's trying to get back on TV or you just a flawed human being and you probably ain't worth, this whole situation again. So
you are what you attract. That's another thing people struggle to connect and see. We are definitely what we attract. So it makes sense that he attracted somebody who's kind of like all over the place. But that is it, you guys, for this first review of our 90-day, this stupid virtual background, our 90-day, the single life. You guys, sorry, I had to get rid of my virtual. It was tripping. But we will continue to recap this show. We're going to hope that it picks up and gets more interesting. For those who enjoy our recaps of 90 Day before the 90 days, they are back this weekend. They were waiting on the Super Bowl and things to pass. So James and me will cover it on Monday. I've also been informed we may be on Shayna_MCD TV's channel. So please subscribe to her. Keep a lookout for that. My next live on this channel. What day is it today? Love and Hip Hop.
Today's Monday. Wednesday, yeah.
So we will be live again on my channel on Thursday to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami. And then we'll be back again on Friday to go over the Valley Persian Style and the Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then we'll be back on Saturday because apparently I'm a psychopath. And we will be going over Love During Lockup with Kiwan JTV. We also encourage you to subscribe to our new channel. We are at 33 subscribers and we are hoping to get more than 33 subscribers. We have a new channel called the Watch Yo B3ST Friends channel. We hope that you guys tap into that. Oh, that's my channel.
I do that
trying
all
to
the time.
Get the stuff on the damn thing, and that it said Watch Your Best Friends, and that's me.
Well, I mean, hey, same thing. It's in the link in the description box. Click on all of it.
Click on all of it. Exactly. Other than that, you guys, James may be doing a live as well. He has low on shows, but he will get back Bell Collective, and I will let you tell them when your next live is.
Yeah, I'm going to put together a live. A lot of things are going on in social media right now with the reality TV stars upon all the networks. So I'm going to get together sometime this week and do another updates live where we, talk about the discussions. So hope you guys do not want to miss out. I'll let you guys know on my community tab. That's why it's important to subscribe on my channel. So that way you know exactly when we'll go live and what we'll be talking about. So thank you guys and thank you for having me. I appreciate you. See you later.
Adios, everybody.